Good morning, everybody. I'm Jesse Ziegler.
And I'm Quinn Cody.
And welcome to the Climb Dakar Rally Daily Show for Stage 4 from the 2026 Dakar Rally. Quinn, a lot to talk about today.
Yeah, tight racing today. A lot happened out there.
A lot going on today. We got a lot of withdrawals today. We got shake up in the overall standings. We got manufacturer dominating the top 3. We got new Rally 2 leader. We got, updates on bonus time.
We have a tie in the overall general classification after 4 stages.
Tied. Same second.
Tied.
2 riders on the same second after 18, almost 19 hours of racing.
16 hours and 45 minutes and 40 seconds of race time.
So almost 17 hours of racing is what I meant to say.
And they're
tied.
Dead even.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And they're only a quarter of the way done. Tomorrow will be a quarter of the way done, basically.
I don't think it's going to be tied for very long.
I don't think it's going to be tied, but man, tight racing this year. Really tight.
Yes.
Like we're talking seconds now. I mean, the top 3 today were separated by 10 seconds on the day.
But all thanks to this bonus time.
100%. 100% thanks to
this has become a big factor this year. So that's something else we're going to talk about a little later on.
Yeah, bonus time. Is it too aggressive? Is it too generous? Is the road book? And we have some insight from Johnny Campbell coming up. We talked to him already this morning. Really good stuff. Let's get into it. Tosha Schareina won 2 stages in a row today. Leading today, led out today, led almost the whole day. Didn't crash, go over the bars like he did yesterday, and ended up getting a second stage win in a row, which used to be really, really hard to do. But this year's possible.
Yeah. We saw Daniel get back-to-back stage wins. Now Tosha's done it back-to-back thanks to 6 minutes and 26 seconds of bonus time. Which
he shared with his teammate in second place, Ricky Brabec. Climbs into that podium again. The guy hasn't been off the podium all year, and he ended up gathering 3 minutes, 16 seconds of that bonus time. So they shared the last half of the race kind of together, riding together and sharing the bonus time.
Yeah, and so after all of this adjusted time was calculated, Ricky was 6 seconds behind Tosha. So we're getting
that's close.
Pretty confusing, but
yeah.
I don't know. We're kind of getting to the point where maybe this bonus time is a little too much. Where they're often or maybe the road book is a little too. I mean, they're saying there's complicated notes, but clearly they're navigating really fast through this stuff. So
yeah, the guys' internal computers are figuring this stuff out pretty quick. Next guy on the podium. Great to see Skyler Howes get on the podium, 10 seconds behind the leader, in a 10-second group between all 3 of these guys. So Skyler was fast today. He didn't get any bonus time. And he's still in 10 seconds after that adjusted time. So Skyler was technically the fastest on the course, correct?
Yeah, I mean, it gets a little mind-bending here, but yeah, he would have been the fastest guy over the stage.
Yeah,
today.
Yeah. If you're just talking covering ground on the navigation, Skyler was cooking out there today.
Yep.
Very cool. Ross Branch in 4th place. Daniel Sanders in 5th place. Daniel Sanders drops back to 5th for the first time in this rally. I don't know if he's been in 5th place yet. Nacho Cornejo after a horrible crash yesterday. If you saw our coverage yesterday, we went into Tosha Schareina's crash. Well, that same spot took out 2 other racers really hard. One of them was Stefan Svitko, who withdrew from the race with a broken collarbone. Really screwed him up, and Nacho hit the same thing in the same spot. So it took it down 3 Rally GP riders in succession.
And that was an ugly one. I mean, that brought back memories from my crash in 2012 where he rode the front wheel for a minute there. And
yeah, Nacho got the worst of it. Well, Stefan got the worst of it because he actually got injured and got taken out. We don't have footage of his crash, but Nacho's crash was bad too.
And I mean, these guys were lucky that it was sandy there and soft enough, because man, if that had been into the rocks, there would have been I think a lot different outcome.
And unfortunately, every year we get into this race, stage 4, stage 5, stage 6, we start seeing these withdrawals. We start seeing this fatigue and the desert just taking people out. And that happened a lot today. And it started yesterday.
Yeah.
Not good. Luciano Benavides, 7th place today. Edgar Canet, 8th place today. Adrian Van Beveren in 9th, and Niels Therick on the Cove in the Rally 2 class, 10th place today. That gap's about 10 minutes from Tosha Schareina in front. Niels rode strong today to get that 10th place spot and the Rally 2 victory. And if you remember, Niels had to push his bike to the finish line in the prologue.
Yeah.
So this guy could have given up at the beginning of this race, and now he got a stage win in Rally 2, and he's top 10 overall, which is
knocking
epic.
off top 10s. That's awesome ride for that bike, that manufacturer too. I mean, really solid finish, and it's too bad he had that hiccup in the prologue, because he would be in the mix.
Definitely would have been in the mix. Rally 2 is its own story today, with Niels taking the lead, Tony Mulick on the Bass World KTM team in second, and our boy Preston Campbell from the good old US of A, Johnny Campbell's son, third place today, about 8 minutes back. But what you notice we're not talking about is Martin Ventura, and Martin seems to have a pretty rough start to a marathon stage.
Yeah, so it sounds like he had a mechanical out on the stage. I think Johnny will give us a little insight maybe into what happened, but he lost a bunch of time today, so he's effectively out of the overall contention, the general classification. He was able to make it to the marathon stage bivouac, but it's questionable on what's going to happen tomorrow, whether he has enough tools or parts to fix the bike to get through the second half of the marathon. Yeah,
and similarly, Iron Mike, he didn't make it in today either. He blew up a front wheel.
Rear wheel.
Front wheel. Front wheel.
Okay.
I saw it. Doherty's front wheel.
Okay.
Toasted, smoked.
Whoa.
Sounds like he T-boned in. I'm going to get a quote from him. I see a quote here that we can play for Doherty to get the details on his catastrophe.
Yeah, we got to post a picture of that, because his moose flew out of the tire, like literally tire front wheel, or apparently front wheel came apart so gnarly that the moose flew out. Which I've never seen happen before. So he must have hit something pretty darn hard.
Yeah,
but
he did.
He's out of the race, and Preston Campbell is your new Rally 2 leader with about an 18-minute cushion.
Yeah, which is a great spot to be in. Taking advantage of some other people's misfortune, but riding smart and riding fast enough to be in contention. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, great job for Preston on his first Dakar, and I mean, what a cool thing that would be for him to bring home the
Rally 2 win.
Rally 2 win.
I don't want to say anything, but I predicted this when we did the Ricky Brabec interview, that we could have an American Honda 1-2.
American sweep.
Ricky doing Rally GP, and Preston in Rally 2, and I'm wearing my red sweatshirt again today. So I think this is probably something to do with me.
I mean, technically, if we look at the general classification right now, Ricky Brabec's leading overall, tied with Tosha Schareina for the overall general classification, and Preston Campbell is leading the Rally 2 general classification.
Sounds like I know what I'm talking about again.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, let's get into some quotes. I got quotes from the top finishers here. Let's hear what they have to say about the race today. Let's start with the winner, Tosha, back to back.
Yeah, it was not easy. The mission for today was open from the beginning to the end, and we did it, at kilometer 200, Ricky catched me, and we were riding together until the end, the last 200 Ks, and it was not easy. I expected something more easy in aviation, but finally we are here now on marathon stage. We will try to rest good and try to sleep good.
It seems that your bike didn't suffer too much. Tires okay?
At the moment, everything okay. We will see tomorrow how is the stage, if it's so rocky section again, but we will see.
Wow, he sounds like he wanted a little easier navigation today and a little strung out there. But the bonus time doesn't tell that same story.
Yeah. I mean, he did a great job there, and it's pretty unreal to have it that tight after 400 Ks of racing. So I think we got a quote from Ricky next.
Yep, quote from Ricky coming up. Let's hear from Brabec, see what he says about the day.
Yeah, it was a long stage. Started second behind my teammate Tosha. He did a excellent job opening. I started out a little bit slow today, but fortunately I found the pace and picked it up a little bit, caught up to Tosha, and me and him kind of navigated the last 200K together. It was cool. It was a fun time. But yeah, I think we're both in a really good position. I think we're both happy on the day.
What was the most difficult during this stage? Terrain, navigation?
The terrain with the navigation was tricky because we were on these big slab rocks that, had no track on it, and you just had to really, follow the cap heading and trust yourself to, make it to the end of the slab, and hopefully there's a road there. But yeah, it got tricky a couple times. A couple times I got off track early on and just, had to compensate the cap heading and kind of go off piste. And I got super lucky 2 times and the waypoint opened. So after that, I slowed down a little bit and just made sure, I was navigating. And like I said, me and Tosha just navigated like the last, I don't know, I caught him before refueling. So we navigated together a lot today, and it was cool. We had fun, and yeah, I think we did an excellent job.
How is the bike? Fine? Nothing to do?
Marathon night. There's they're giving us all night to work on our bike, but we don't have anything to work with. But the bike didn't touch the ground today. I just got to check over the tires, but I think for the moment the bike is perfectly fine. Just pull the seat off, check the air filter, and put some fuel in it. Get ready for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Get ready for tomorrow, Ricky.
Yeah, that's interesting. Little insight into the navigation there. He alluded to maybe getting a little tripped up, but then kind of trusting his cap and going on the cap heading. So basically saying he's going on his compass heading. Yeah. And that's one thing that Ricky's really good at, and his experience has taught him, is that, if the information isn't adding up in the note on the road book, to just trust your cap and go. And so basically what he's saying is like the road wasn't there.
Yeah, it was on a rock.
So he just went on his cap and the waypoint opened for him eventually.
Right.
And a lot of guys will get into that situation and they'll see maybe the note on the road book doesn't look the same way as what they're seeing.
Yeah.
And they don't fully trust their cap, and then they end up doing circles or, getting a little confused. And so he was able to ride through a lot of that stuff, and just by trusting his cap, and then the waypoint opens for him and he's on to the next one.
It's golden. It's a good feeling when that waypoint opens. I imagine if you're kind of confused, you're just like, I'm going to go for it. And it goes boop. And you're like, yes, nailed it. Like you won the lottery.
Exactly. And that's experience right there.
Yeah.
Just trusting the cap. And I think that's something that Jimmy Lewis is ingrained in these guys is, trust.
Yeah. So. Just trust in yourself. Don't get confused by the pictures next to the note. Yeah. Use those for information, but the cap heading and the distance is really the key in getting through these tricky sections. Well, somebody who's also great at navigating through this stuff and had a great stage result today is Skyler Howes. We're going to hear from Skyler here for the first time this year. And I'm excited to hear from Skyler. And his mustache. I think his mustache has its own personality.
Yeah, it's been a pretty difficult day. I caught some type of respiratory thing. I think like the air quality or something's been messing with me. So my energy level's been really low today. Tried to manage as best as I could. I knew we were going to have tire issues, and I think I got one. So it's going to be interesting to see how tomorrow goes. If my tire fails, then that'll be the end of it. So hopefully we can make it through tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. Tonight we're going to sleep out in a tent, which is, hopefully I can get some good rest. I'm going to need it. Feeling pretty drained right now. So overall, the stage went good for me today. A couple little turnarounds out there, but this one was a long and demanding one. It was 417 kilometers of it asked everything from you. So I'm feeling tired, ready to go eat some rations and try to take a nap.
Not an easy first part of a rally for you.
No, of course not. This is the Dakar. It's always been pretty difficult, but the last couple of years, this first week has been really challenging. So I think what's going to tell us all apart now is just who can make it to the finish line with these tires. Just the feeling coming into the finish, I don't think mine's doing so good. So just hoping for the best.
Ooh, coming off his best stage, he's nervous about these tire situation. And again, very limited resources out here at this remote bivouac. No new tires. They got to run a big stage tomorrow on them too. And
a lot of info there, right? He's not feeling good. Sounds like he's got a little bug. He's going to have to sleep in the tent tonight. He's a little stressed about the tire. And then, that brings up something. Obviously, there's 2 different tires that these guys have to choose from, right? Most of the Honda guys are running Metzlers. All the KTM guys are running Michelin.
Okay.
it'll be interesting to see. I don't know if there's a trend here as far as like I've seen some photos of some of the Michelins that look really cooked, and I think the Metzlers, though, I think obviously Skyler alluded to, I think he's on a Metzler, and he alluded to having some tire damage there. So
has there been any new development in those tires in the recent years, or are they still kind of running the same stuff they have in the Saudi Dakar generation?
I think in the last couple years they're pretty much the same. I know they're always developing. They're always trying to make the carcass better and stronger and stuff. And but I think these last couple of years, obviously, this is a proving ground for the tire manufacturers.
Yeah,
and
clearly,
if they start seeing their tire being cut, and this is the biggest stage in the world, right? And so, if you find out a guy loses a Dakar because his Michelin goes away, then
they don't want that.
Michelin doesn't want that, right?
Yeah.
So they're gonna work to make everything better.
All right, let's hear from Daniel Sanders about his race today and how his tire is holding up.
Yeah, it was a really demanding first stage. Started in third position, so I had the guys in front, and then I just made some silly mistakes in the navigation, and I just got confused on a couple notes when it was pretty much straightforward, and just overcomplicated it. So I lost a lot of time before the refuel, and after that, just try to push and trying to make up time. And I think I cleaned up a little bit. I felt better in the last half, and didn't make really many mistakes. So it was a big push to the end. It was a really long, draining day again. So it'll be. It's not over yet. It's just fourth day in, but the bike's okay. No, it was a lot of rocks. So we got to the refuel and everyone had cuts in their tyres and pretty destroyed wheels. So that last half I just tried to manage it, and as I can see now, a lot of riders have shredded rear tyres. So I tried to protect my tyre as much as possible and not push too much in the rocks. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. If it's a full stage, it's going to be a lot of drama, I think.
I think that was Skyler that rode by him, and he looked at his tire for a long time.
Yeah. You can see in Daniel's interview, as he's being interviewed, he's looking over at the competition's tires, and
he doesn't look impressed by their tire condition.
So, but yeah, I mean, this is going to factor into things tomorrow, especially.
Yeah. Might have to have some
a little bit of stress maybe on the rider's mind tonight while they're trying to sleep in the tent.
Just waking up with tire nightmares all night.
Yeah. In our general classification, we should note that obviously Sanders was leading coming into this stage, and now he's a minute 24 off the lead. So, which is still in the mix. Obviously, he's right there,
and he's in a pretty good starting position for tomorrow, fifth, I think. Yeah, opportunity to make up time, but maybe not with this bonus structure. We got to ask Johnny about that and see what he
bonuses, thinks. and then also tire issue, right?
Tire issue.
He can't really push from the back if he's concerned about the tire
and navigation. On one hand, it seems easy because the bonuses are being gobbled up. On the other hand, Daniel just said, I made some mistakes in navigation. I started third. I should have maybe been up there a little further, catching these guys and maybe sharing in that bonus time, but I couldn't catch them because I made some mistakes. So kind of tricky.
This top three in the general now has separated themselves.
Yeah.
Really, if you go back to fourth, which Edgar Canet, he's been a little bit quiet the last couple of days, but he's still sitting in fourth in the general, and he's 11 minutes and 22 seconds off the lead.
That's a 10-minute jump.
10-minute jump.
Third and fourth.
Yeah. So that's and then the race gets tight again, right?
Really tight.
Yeah, from fourth to seventh, there's only 3 minutes in that. In that little pack. So
there's going to be a pack of hungry racers trying to get knocking on that door of the podium and take advantage of something that can happen out there, and they got to make that move now.
Yeah,
definitely. Get up there. You can't. That 10-minute gap is going to be hard to fill.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's call Johnny Campbell. What does that sound like? Do we get a message from him?
Yeah. Let's get a hold of Johnny, and I think we got some good info from him. So
okay, calling Johnny Campbell. I hope he picks up.
There we go. Sounds right.
Johnny Campbell coming online. I hope. Hey, Johnny Campbell's here, live from the bivouac.
Hey.
All right, Johnny.
Hey, guys. Good to hear from you. We're over here in the KSA. We're in the hail today. We just got to the bivouac here, getting it set up, and it's going to be super fun.
Pretty big day for you guys today out in the results. We just went over, how well the Honda team's kind of gelling together. Like, talk to us about the marathon stage. What's your take on that stuff?
Yeah, this year they set up this remote bivouac to where it's pretty rough. I mean, it's not like they tried that chrono stage thing, and I think that was a big logistic nightmare for them. But this sounds more like grassroots, kind of like getting back to the roots of Dakar, where there's one central truck with a big globe light. They're camping in the desert. MREs, they're going to eat out of a bag, sleep in the dirt. I mean, it's going to be rough, but I mean, this is Dakar. This is the way it should be.
Yeah.
So
you say that from the motorhome, right?
You know what, Quinn? Absolutely. I'm here. I got air conditioning if I want. I got a toilet. I got running water. I could take a shower.
You deserve it, right? You got it to yourself tonight too.
That's right. Finally, I don't have to sleep in my tent, and I get a motorhome. Pretty luxury.
Nice.
I think first thing we should talk about is Preston. Your son's racing his first Dakar Rally. He just got the lead in the Rally 2 division today. Consistent results. Talk about how his race is going and how you see him performing out there.
Yeah, Preston's he's having a really good run. For the first Dakar, I really tried to coach him on, just riding within his ability and, his goals to get to the finish line. There's no other expectations other than to do that. And so first days kind of have to find like your flow and your groove, and you never raced here, and it's so big and so much pressure, I think, for like a first timer like Preston, who's a young racer who wants to make this a regular thing. We'll say a career or whatever. But, you get here and it's like you come into the bivouac and it's like, this is like the biggest race I've ever been to. It's like, you show up and there's just so many teams and so many vehicles and so much busyness and havoc going on in the bivouac, noisy at night, cars running up and down, grinding, pounding, bikes getting worked on all night. And it's just all this flavor of rally, and so he's just having to take it all in and one like I told him, one stage at a time. You need to go one stage at a time, minimize your mistakes, stay on two wheels, and get through this whole thing. That's the goal.
Yeah. How do you think his speed's obviously been good? He's leading the class, so he's not just out for a cruise.
No, I mean, I've watched some videos of him and stuff, and he's riding well. It seems like he's comfortable on the bike and stuff. And, I just hope and pray he could just, keep it within himself and, get this thing day by day to the finish line. But he's obviously going quick because he's had some pretty good results. I think stepping into, the Dakar here, they have that Rally 2 class, is kind of helpful because then you're not plopped right down into the elite GP guys, on works bikes and stuff. And so I think his bike is good. It's a limited production, CRF RX Rally, and so it's a perfect bike for him the first time, and it's safe and happy and stuff. So he's in a good spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Same for the big dad, Ricky Brabec on the team. He's podium every day, looking really good, riding good, and the whole Honda team came together today, 1, 2, 3. Like, everything seems to be gelling at the Red Camp now.
Yeah, right now, the vibe's good in the camp, and I think the riders, we did a lot of off-season work on the bikes and a lot of setup, and Ricky's been on point for the last couple months coming into this thing, and so myself and Kendall, we really took a lot of time and spent a lot of time testing his bike and stuff, and That was huge. I think in the mental game for Ricky was just having us surround him and be there for him in the last couple months, getting to this race so that he was confident coming in. And so the bike's good. We made a few little tweaks to it here and there, but nothing, I mean, really nothing more than like a click here or there, or, you know, maybe a fork tube height or something. Yeah. So I was really happy with all our testing and stuff. We came in pretty close. So
that's cool.
Yeah. But he's on point.
He's on
Ricky's back and he's hungry.
Yeah, I mean, leading overall, co-leaders, I guess you could say, with him and Tosha tied after 4 stages. What do you think about the bonus time and the way things are working out? Obviously, it's going to be a big factor, or it's been a big factor so far. What's the take on that?
Yeah, you know, each year the rally progresses, or evolves, I should say. And this year, it seems like the way that the navigation is and stuff, that the rally's pretty fast. And the guys that are being able, like, say, Tosha, Ricky, or Daniel, those guys that are veterans have been out front, seems like they can stay out front in the lead the whole way and open the trail. And so it's almost like the bonus time this time around is probably a little aggressive, meaning that it's a lot of bonus time for how technical the road book is. Mm-hmm. And so, like, you've seen a couple stages where the rider that's let out has gotten maximum bonus time. They've been able to stay up front the whole time and not drop back to where they're not being able to keep up in the front. And I mean, even Tosha, you know, the guy, you got to hand it to him. He had a bad wreck. Yeah. I think you guys probably posted that in one of your videos I saw. And the guy got up and was able to somewhat straighten his bars and stay up in front and keep collecting bonuses, you know. And certainly Ricky was able to catch him after that. But man, guy's a warrior.
Gnarly.
But getting back to the bonus time, I think it's maybe a little aggressive this go around, just the way we've seen things happen in the last 4 days.
Yeah. So for me watching, I feel like the car tracks have been a little bit deeper this year, like the opening car tracks in some of the dune sections and stuff. Have the guys commented about it being maybe like they ran more than one time over the stage with an opening car? Have they said anything about that?
Well, I heard that they did have to obviously go back out because about 2 weeks before the race, they had some torrential flooding and downpours. And so they had to go back out and make some modifications to the road books and actually divert around some areas because it just gotten too thrashed, you know, places that were sand washes or like boulders, you know, so they had to make a new track in some areas. So yeah, there's guaranteed the opening car track has been out there, like, recently seems that way, you know? Mm-hmm. But also too, if you want to go back in history, they've ran a couple of these stages are pretty close to these stages, either forward or backward to what we're doing this year. And so there's obviously going to be some wear and tear, and being that this terrain is a little sandier. Mm-hmm. So I'm not too surprised to see some of the grooves out there.
Yeah. Interesting.
Very interesting. On Rally 2, Martin Ventura, who was leading with the Honda team, he seemed to have a bit of an issue today. We don't have any reports on exactly what happened. Do you know anything what happened with his bike? And, you know, he lost, I think, like hour and a half into the finish today or so.
Yeah, we heard, I haven't had any communications with the guys at the remote bivouac, but we had heard that he lost a chain guide or something, so he probably whacked a rock. Yeah. So I don't know if the chain balled up, you know, in the engine case or what happened, you know. I mean, these guys are running with minimal tools and things to be able to repair stuff like that. So, and I honestly don't know Martin's mechanical background either. So it makes a little bit of a difference, you know, and you got to be a MacGyver out there. So, but in the end, he did make it in, albeit he was a couple hours down. Obviously, that took them out of the running for the Rally 2 division. But we'll have to see what happens now, because now they're at this remote bivouac, and there's no parts, not a lot of tools. There's no service there. It's just the rider and whatever he's carrying. Yeah. So whether he can make it the next stage tomorrow to get to us and Hale is an unknown.
Yeah. So obviously marathon stage, you guys are on Metzler's. Is that correct for tires, and KTM's on Michelin?
Yeah. Actually Ricky is the only one on Michelin.
Okay.
The other guys are on the Metzler tire. This team doesn't really have a tire sponsor, although Metzler's, we've been trying to help develop a tire.
Got it.
But yeah, Ricky was able to choose what tire he wanted, so he chose Michelin.
Okay. Have you seen any contrast between the two tires in the last few days, like wear wise? I know I've seen a lot of Michelins that looked pretty smoked at the end of the stage. How are we doing there?
Yeah. It kind of depends on the rider. I feel like Skyler had one of his Metzler's takes a rough beating on day 2, and then but generally the Metzlers are a little more durable, like durability wise, as far as like knob wear. But to be honest, we've seen about the same amount of damage to both the Metzler and the Michelin. So I don't know that there's any any better tire. Maybe one works better here, one works better there, but it really seems like the durability is really close. Although in our testing, we've had really good success with durability with the Metzler.
Okay,
it's going to be a factor today for sure, as those guys sit around the camp and stare at the tire.
So it's going to be a nail biter, I think, tomorrow to see who makes it in on their tire in Moose. It's going to be tough.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Got 417 Ks to go tomorrow, and it's going to be, I think, little under 300 is race. Or no, sorry, a little under 400 is the race.
Yeah.
And they got about 60 something of transfer. So, but we'll have to see how it plays out. It's definitely been an exciting one so far for a quarter of the way into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll eclipse that quarter tomorrow and move on from there.
Nice. It's been very exciting from our side to watch. It's been close racing, and the Honda team's in the fight. It's good to see two of these manufacturers battling it out. Thanks, Johnny, for chatting with us today, and enjoy your evening alone.
I will enjoy the camper and the bed and not have to pick up riders' crap, and underwear on the floor, and goggle lenses, trash, whatever. So, I get to come here and clean all that crap up before I actually, settle down in the bivouac here. But it's always nice to have a little bit of break from those guys. As much as I love them, it's just the way it is.
Nice to have a day off. Yep. Well, thanks for jumping into our world for your day off and dealing with us for a minute.
Yeah, appreciate
it, guys. Yeah, we'll talk a little later, maybe on rest day or something.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Sounds good, Johnny. Thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, have a great day, guys.
Later.
Bye.
See ya. The legend, Johnny Campbell. Again, we can't do this show without the inside access of the awesome people involved in this race. And honestly, everybody's pretty pumped to answer the questions we have and be annoyed by us at stupid times when they're trying to get some stuff, because I think they all live it every day and they love sharing it out there and get more people into it because they see how cool it is from like up close and personal.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, they want to share everything, and it's cool to see inside the pits, inside the motorhome, and kind of what these guys go through day to day.
Yeah, it's going to be just all these teams are going to have like very little contact physically. I'm sure they can still communicate with the guys via phones or whatever in that tent city they're set up in, but not a lot they can do. They can't really help their guys out today.
Nope. So they're kind of sitting back. It's pretty cool too to see Johnny, obviously he's mentored Preston over the years, and now to see Preston leading the Rally 2 category is pretty awesome. And he's got a lot of confidence in Preston. I mean, he's worked as a mechanic for his dad's team over the years, right, and so he knows the bike inside and out, and he's really well equipped for this kind of sport. So we're pumped to see that, and Johnny kind of passing on the legacy.
Yep, and you couldn't find a nicer kid in the world than Preston Campbell. I can tell you that for sure. He's a great person. Unfortunately, we lost some people today. We mentioned Michael Doherty out of the Rally 2 today. He can rejoin. That's one of the things you should know about Rally 2 versus Rally GP. If you get a mechanical and you can't make it to the finish in Rally GP, you're done. Like, you basically fly home. Yeah. In Rally 2, you're allowed to rejoin the race, although your time and your standing and everything is affected. So at least your investment to get to the race isn't totally lost. You still can finish out the race with the experience, but I think you're out of contention for an overall place.
I think you get a massive penalty.
You wouldn't be able to catch up even if you could.
He can come back and get experience and knock off stage wins and whatnot.
And then we have Brandon Kraus got out today.
Yeah,
the American, really journeyman out there, guy with a day job. Paul Krause's kid, who Paul's a legend. We talked about him earlier. But it sounds like Brandon had a pretty big crash today, ended up going to the hospital. He seems to be in okay condition. We've heard from Mark Correa, sent me a text from his mom, and then we just talked to Paul directly. Give us a rundown what happened to Brandon or how his condition is. He seems to be, he's going to be okay, right?
Yeah, so it sounds like he has some fractures to his tailbone, some cuts on his butt, and maybe a possible stable pelvic fracture. So, but he's in stable condition and everything's good. So that's the main thing, right?
For sure.
Here. So unfortunately,
his experience gets cut short.
Yep. So he'll have to come back again next year.
Yes, for sure. He'll have to get back out there and do it again. Also, people out, notable Mishek, who's on that Hodo team with Mason Klein. He had a mechanical today. His bike just stopped going, and his teammate, who I think is a Chinese racer, he had just a crash damaged nav tower. So there's some really cool footage of them just swapping parts out in the desert to get at least one of their bikes going and get in the finish. And notably on that topic, Mason Klein, I think, was 20th today on the Hodo. So still in the race, but one Hodo down.
Yeah.
One Hodo down.
One Hodo out of the race. So Mason's, still trucking along. We don't have a whole lot of insight into what issues are happening there, but we'll see.
Speaking of insight, I got some Quinn and answers. If you're ready for it.
Yeah, we can do that.
You ready?
I think so.
I got a couple good ones. Number one is from our sponsor, the Baja Rally, who had a great point. Baja Rally, by the way, sign up. You can sign up to race that soon. There's a recce team that goes out and lays out the course, and then they, review it and drive around. And we heard from Johnny saying, it seems like they had to redo some stuff because of all the storm damage. So there's a team that goes out and verifies this route. They don't just draw it on a map and say, good luck, guys. Do they ever have a moto tester do that course to make sure that the moto course makes sense, or is it all just trucks? And, I think they're doing it in Defenders now.
Yeah, as far as I know, the ASO doesn't have anyone on a moto that goes out and verifies the stages.
Right. Okay.
So like we talked about with Johnny, it appears from a lot of the helicopter footage that the tracks, from what I could see from the opening car, look more recent, and they look more established this year. Like maybe they sent over more than one opening car, or maybe they did it a couple weeks ago and then they did it last night.
Okay.
A lot of it has to do with the wind too, right? If the wind comes up and the weather is bad, then it blows those tracks away really quick. Mm-hmm. But I think this might be something that is factoring into why the guys are getting so many bonus points, is because the opening car tracks are deeper and they're easier to follow this year than maybe they have been in the past. I know we had rain in the past. We've had, more windstorms and things like that. So I think that could be a reason that these guys are able to open the stage so fast and get so much bonus time, is because the opening car tracks are a little bit deeper this year.
That makes sense. But then we constantly have been hearing about tricky navigation this year too. So whether that's one note that catches somebody out and that's just in their head at the end of the race, or it's actually pretty tricky.
Yeah, and in the rock, like there's a lot of rock, and the cars don't leave tracks on rock. So
that's true.
they only leave the track in the sand. So it's one less clue that the guys have to work with.
That leads me to the other Quinn and answer question, which keeps popping up, and we've talked about a lot today. Is bonus time good or bad? We already answered this earlier in the week, but what's your take on bonus time now after hearing what Johnny said and kind of like having this race go 4 stages?
Yeah, I mean it seems to kind of vary stage to stage, right? It's some stages I think it's helpful, and then other stages maybe it's a little too easy to get the bonus time.
Yeah,
and
sure.
It's hard for them to
calculate
it, right? Is this going to be easy stage, hard stage? So, but fact is, it's part of the race, and you got to play the game, and you got to adapt your strategy based on this new format. So
I think anything that can keep the top 3 guys within 10 seconds on a stage is good for the sport. It keeps everything tighter. It stops people from blowing out and making the second half of the race basically a parade where that guy can't catch me, so I'm not really worried about him. I just have to keep next to this guy, and I'll win the rally. So I think it's good to have that unpredictability in it, and to keep it exciting and give something for the front runners to stay up front. I think it's a good thing. Yeah. You guys can tell us what you think in the comments, so please do.
For sure.
And ask more questions.
It looks like we're going to get a call with Jordi Villadomes, the sporting manager for KTM Rally, factory rally team. So
awesome. Let's do it.
We're going to get him on WhatsApp and do a little quick call with him.
That's a surprise. Thanks, Jordi. Let's call him right now, and we'll get the KTM version of the day.
All right.
We're calling Jordi. Hello.
Hey, Jordi.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing great. Thank you. Quinn's sitting next to me over there. You can't see his ugly face, but you can see mine, so you're welcome for that. How are things going? How are things going out there at the end of this first half of the marathon stage?
Well, it looked like today was rough, the stage, and especially with the tires. The guys are saying that many riders got cut in the wheels, including our riders. So let's see how it goes tomorrow.
Yeah. Is that something you guys expected to happen today? Did you think it was going to be that rough out there on tires for the first half? Because it's not usually that big of an issue. We've had issues in the past, but generally it's okay.
Mm-hmm. To be honest, not. We knew that it could happen. This area, we didn't get this. There is this volcano area here that sometimes it happens, but today it didn't.
Hey, Jordi, can you hear us now? You there?
He's there, but it's not working.
Yeah. All right.
We
Well,
tried.
We tried
to talk to Jordi, but it didn't work out. Okay, sorry we couldn't get Jordi Villadomes on there. We're not in charge of the satellite connection in Saudi Arabia, unfortunately, and sometimes it doesn't work out. Sometimes it doesn't work out. We're going to try to connect with Jordi as soon as possible, of course, to give you guys some insight into the KTM team. And speaking of teams, our team wouldn't be here without Climb, of course, our title sponsor, also Rally Navigator and the Baja Rally, and High Desert Adventures. And if you combine like all 3 of those things together, you're basically a rally racer, and you have no more excuse but just go ride. You wear Climb gear.
Yeah.
You get High Desert Adventures to be your support. Do some training with Ace and Jake. Go to the freaking Baja Rally. Practice the Rally Navigator. We're basically giving you a blueprint to go race rally.
Go ride. I mean, you got everything you need right there.
What else? What else do you want from us?
You'll be at Dakar next year.
You could. Easy. You can do that.
Call Hank. Get on a rally bike.
It's expensive, but it's easy.
Yeah. You can also buy us a coffee if you like. We've had a lot of supporters going to our Instagram page and clicking the link and buying us coffee. So thanks to everybody that's done that so far, and we really appreciate the help and support there.
In full disclosure, I might use it for a beer.
Yeah.
Later.
Let me switch this to beer.
After on rest day, I might have a rest day beer.
We need to thank Anthony Bonello in the bivouac too. He's we need to buy him a beer too, because he's been sending us lots of good stuff. He's kind of our inside guy over there. So
yeah, great reporting from Anthony. Great insight. One thing I screwed up in editing the show with Sam Sunderland interview, but I reposted Sam's full interview to our YouTube channel on Cycle News YouTube, and it's great. Sam's got such good insight into the race I think this is from stage 1. But go back and check that out. Cycle News is a big supporter. They let us use the studio, keep us out there on their channels, which is a great boost for us too. So check out Cycle News issue 1. Yep. Check out Cycle News issue 2 on Monday, because we're going to Supercross this weekend. AIM Expo starts tomorrow, the biggest motorcycle industry trade show. Lots of stuff going down in the Cycle News world. Yep.
And NBC Sports, Peacock, the live streaming, the video, or sorry, not live streaming, but the show.
Yeah, the live show recap show.
I guess you call it, has been great this year. I watched a bunch of it last night, and if you notice at the bottom of the bike section, it says for more on the bikes, go to Dakar Rally Daily. So we got a little plug there on Peacock.
Thanks to the NBC Sports Motorsports crew for plugging our show, and we hope to get some new listeners. And if you came here from there, welcome to the chaos that's Dakar Rally Daily. We love the whole thing about this sport. We go into a little more detail than those guys can in their time slot, hopefully. And
but their coverage has been really good this year. I'm
so
super
good
impressed.
This year. They're covering every aspect that we can even imagine to cover here.
Yep.
So shout out to everybody making this stuff happen. Big day tomorrow, second half of a marathon stage. These guys are intense now, eating ration food and worried about their tires. What do they have to get through tomorrow, Quinn?
So stage 5, 356 kilometers of special stage.
Seems reasonable.
And then 58 kilometers of liaison stage after the special. So
that's probably going to be a highway, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're going to start straight out of the bivouac. Maybe they're a couple of Ks or whatever, but just right outside the bivouac, they'll start the special stage tomorrow, and then it's straight into racing. The organization is predicting 4.5 hours. We've seen the guys running about an hour faster than
that's what I was gonna say.
Predicted time. So we could see them getting over that 350 kilometers in about 3.5 hours tomorrow, maybe less.
If you're waking up in your tent tomorrow and your tire's top of mind and you're trying to conserve that thing, what do you want to see on this stage as far as terrain? You want to see no rocks, you want to see sand, but then you don't want to see super high speed either. Like what are you worried about?
You're gonna hope for sand for sure, like a little bit of sand, less rocky, less aggressive, hard pack roads that really eat the tire up. And any of that high speed stuff is gonna wear the thing down to the cords. So
scary.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, we've seen it before. Toby Price had to zip tie his tire onto the rim, and so we've seen some carnage, but it seems like everybody's kind of gotten through it. Mm-hmm. So let's just hope we don't see anybody's moose jump out of the tire tomorrow and
have to pull an Andrew Short and ride into the stage on a rim.
Yeah,
that's happened before too. Recently,
yes, it has.
And it might happen again. So stay tuned tomorrow to the race. Check out NBC tonight on the coverage, and check us out tomorrow. I think we're good. Thanks to Johnny Campbell for jumping on today, and Jordy for trying to jump on. Sorry we couldn't get the connection to work with Jordy, but Johnny gave us great insight, and I hope he enjoys his day off without having those stinky racers in his motorhome.
All right.
Thanks everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.
Adios.